weathered the tests of time very well. Some day I shall take you to see the one called Dancing Spindle. But they did not make towns for themselves as we do, or devise a central government, or provide for the common good of their people. And that was why they remained a poor, wandering folk, prey to the Cadona raiders who preyed on them, and to the vagaries of the seasons. Now that we have settled the Bajawi and begun to teach them how to maintain villages and schools and stores, they will learn to prosper. I pondered this. I knew the Bajawi. Some of them had settled near the north end of Widevale, my father's holdings. I'd been there once. It was a dirty place, a random tumble of houses without streets, with garbage and sewage and offal scattered all around it. I hadn't been impressed. As if my father could hear my thoughts, he said, "Sometimes it takes a while for people to adapt to civilization. The learning process can be hard, but in the end, it will be of great benefit to them. The Gernian people have a duty to lift the Bajawi folk and help them learn civilized ways." Oh, that I understood. Just as struggling with math would someday make me a better soldier. I nodded and continued to ride at his stirrup as we approached the outpost. The town of Franner's Bend had become a trader's rendezvous, where Gernian merchants sold overpriced wares to homesick soldiers and purchased handmade plains goods and trinkets from the bazaar for the city markets in the west. The military contingent there, with its barracks and headquarters, was still the heart of the town, but the trade had become the new reason for its existence. Outside the fortified walls, a little community had sprung up around the riverboat docks. A lot of common soldiers retired there, eking out their existence with handouts from their younger comrades. Once, I suppose, the fort at Franner's Bend had been of strategic importance. Now it was little more than another backwater on the river. The flags were still raised daily with military precision, and a great deal of ceremony and pomp. But as my father told me on the ride there, duty at Franner's Bend was a soft post now, a plum given to older or incapacitated officers who did not wish to retire to their family homes yet. Our sole reason for visiting was to determine if my father could win the military contract for sheepskins to use as saddle padding. My family was just venturing into sheep herding at that point in time, and he wished to determine the real market for them before investing too heavily in the silly creatures. Much as he detested playing the merchant, he told me, as a new noble he had to establish the investments that would support his estate and allow it to grow. "I've no wish to hand your brother an empty title when he comes of age. The future Lord Burvilles of the East must have income to support a noble lifestyle. You may think that has nothing to do with you, young Nevare, for as a second son, you must go to be a soldier. But when you're an old man and your soldiering days are through, you will come home to your brother's estate to retire. You will live out your days at Widevale, and the income of the estate will determine how well your daughters will marry. For it is the duty of a noble first son to provide for his soldier brother's daughters. It behooves you to know about these things." I understood little, then, of what he was telling me. Of late, he talked to me twice as much as he ever had, and I felt I understood only half as much of what he said. He had only recently parted me from my sister's company and their gentle play. I missed them tremendously, as I did my mother's attentions and coddling. The separation had been abrupt, following my father's discovery that I spent most of my afternoons playing tea party in the garden with Elise and Jarl, and had even adopted a doll as my own to bring to the nursery festivities. Such play alarmed my father for reasons my 8-year-old mind could not grasp. He had scolded my mother in a muffled discussion behind the closed doors of the parlour, and instantly assumed total responsibility for my raising. My schoolbook lessons were suspended, pending the arrival of a new tutor he had hired. In the intervening days, he kept me at his side for all sorts of tedious errands, and constantly lectured me on what my life would be like.